And now's a good time to subscribe, like, and share, and hit that little bell if you don't want to miss anything. Well, good morning. This is Philip, KF5OLV, and I've been wanting to make an instructional video on parks in the air. If you haven't went out and activated, sometimes people are right on the verge of doing it, but they're not quite sure how to get set up with parks in the air or what to log and how to upload it. And they just switched over to self-uploading, so that made it a whole lot easier. So I'm going to go through some of those steps this morning. One thing is to, it's good. It's been really good for me. I got my tech, and Eric N5EST and Brian KC5YSM took me out to Village Creek State Park, and we activated, and I was new to all this. I didn't even know what POTA was. Eric was excited and was telling me, so I went with him. We went early in the morning, got up there, watched him set up. He basically had everything in his backpack, which I was pretty impressed. It was small, condensed. He had a battery, Wolf River coil, and his radio 891, and he had it set up within minutes, and he was talking all over the United States. Brian set up I think a wire, and they were on kind of opposite ends of that little pavilion, and they operated differently. Brian talked a little more. Eric was more going after the it's just a little, like, I don't know what you say, but they just operated different one, which just showed me you can run it your station how you want to, which was good. But then Eric hit France, and I was like, I had the bug. Left there going, I got to get my general. I got to get me a portable set up. I got to, because we had got a little station set up at my house, and I was hunting, and I was DXing South America because I wasn't a general yet. So it really motivated me to get my gear and get portable, get mobile. And so I want to go through this because I know there's older guys, there's younger guys, there's middle-aged guys that are like right on the fringe of maybe having their stuff but not quite sure how this all works. It's not difficult, so I'm just gonna screen share here for a second, if I remember how to do that. Let's see, I just went through all this a second ago. Not the whiteboard. You gotta love it. Here we go. Share. Okay, here we go. So you go to, let's say you're in your, wherever you're living, and you want to go find a park by you. Let me move this over. Hopefully you can see. You got to log in over here to Parks in the Air. It's POTA.app. And if you're not logged in, you got to create a username and password, put them in a safe place so you know what they are. Get yourself logged in. Once you get to that place, then you come to your page, log in, and this is the POTA app, and come over here and drop down and hit the map button. Once it opens, I have it set to open by where I'm at, and these are the parks that we kind of go to around here. But if you're traveling, like we traveled last year to Biloxi. I'm using this as here we go. I was driving. We were coming on our anniversary trip last year, and my wife, while I was driving, she went to the POTA app on her phone, and she goes, hey, there's a place right here. And if you click on that little yellow circle, it'll open up, say, Buccaneer State Park, Kilo 2532. That's important. That kilo is exactly the park name number that you need for your logger and for all your information for POTA, for spotting. So write that down, put that in a safe place. If you pick a park, whether it's around your house or you're traveling, let's say you're going to the Aunt Jenny's or whoever, and you go to the POTA app and go, man, there's a park right over here by their house, and I'm going to go activate. I got all my stuff. And so let's get back to here. Spotter. You come to the spotter page. Now I have these filters set on 20 meters, but you can put it on all. Let's say you want to go out and do CW or FT8 or data. I'm on a single sideband. So this is how I set my filter up. Right now, for just this, I'm going to put it on 20 meters, and I'm going to create a spot. I'm going to put my call sign. You would put your call sign. If you're spotting yourself, you can put it there. Put your frequency. Without the dot on this one, I would just go 14316. That park number is Kilo 2532. See, it says Buccaneer State Park, comes right up. And then I want to put mobile. Just, you can put portable. You can put your antenna and your radio right there. You don't have to put a comment. I just do. And then hit spot, and it'll come up right over here to the spotter page. I'm not going to do it because I'm not activating right now. So let me go to hammers. Now I use hammers. I'm on a Mac right now, and I've been using hammers on a Surface Pro 3. Works great. Put it in my truck. It's smaller than this, lighter than this, and I just use it for parks in the air. And I send the file back to this computer because I'm used to operating inside of a Mac, but you can use it on many platforms. So hammers works on your phone, on PC, on a few different, so you just go to the site, it's called, and you can use whatever logger you want, but this is just what I went from paper. I was using paper in the beginning, and it was fine if you got 12, 15, 20, 70, and you had to come back after you're tired and relog all that stuff and decipher what you wrote down. But after I started getting higher numbers, I was like, I'm not working twice. So this has been nice, because once I put it in, I'm pretty much done unless I make mistakes. So come up here to new window, hit and put your call sign in. I'm putting mine, and then the @ symbol. This is the way POTA wants you to log, and they want the information so when you self-upload. So it's just good practice to do this when you log in, so you don't have to go back in. I've heard KB9VBR say he puts something else here, then he goes back. Well, to me, I don't want to do something twice, so I just put it in right the first time. The park number was 2532. And you got to put that capital, the space, the park number, the space, and then the date from the year and the month. And I'm going to go to the future, 21, in case we go back. You can do it, if you're doing parks in the air, I do here, but there's field day, winter field day, summits on the air. We're doing parks in the air. Hit save. So then it opens up. So I'm at the park. I've figured out I'm going to be on this frequency. You want to make sure your frequency's clear. Hit that 3-4 times. Nobody comes back. Nothing hurts. So then put in, and you can put the dot here. I'm so dyslexic. 316. Power. Parks in there. You can run full power, but I'm putting 100 watts because that's what I run. The park information, again, capital, space. I wrote it down, so 2532. The grid comes in here. The state, single sideband. Now, if you're on another mode and you're at a park and you want to run, you can run any of these. It's great. I'm running single sideband. And we just finished the support your parks, and I put just like this, and I would put the club call, Whiskey 5 Sugar Sugar Victor here. But for this video, I'm leaving that club call clear and put your call where it says my call. You don't have to worry about the county. Let's say you get out there and you get set up, you call CQ. I put it in my radio, and so I don't blow my voice out. I'll hit the button a couple times. They'll say CQ POTA. I'm at Kilo 2532, parks in the air, and I'll hit it again. And when they come back, let's say, and I asked Eric if I could use his name. So I called my buddy or texted him and said, hey, I'm at this park. Are you by your radio? He says, yeah. And he calls back, and it's N5 EST. and his information comes in here. Eric, Texas, his grid. And I want you to look here. His grid is here. You need, whoever you're getting, grid in the logger. And I try to keep, I use my ears. I look at the screen. Sometimes it's dead on. If I hear him a 5.7, I'll give him a 5.7 because that's what the screen said, and that's what I heard. But I'm getting to where I can just hear it and tell. I'll look back and reference. But if it's really hard to get, you give them a 3.3 or whatever. Usually I'm 5.2. If I got to fight to hear it 5.1, I stay in the 5s. That's just me. Somebody once gave me a 1.1, and they heard me just fine. And I was like, okay, I'm not a 1.1. You would have been fighting to get my call. So all this is correct. You've given, Eric was 5.9. He said I was a 5.9. All this information in here is correct, and you're ready to go. Hit save, and then somebody else comes. KB5 ZZB Lawrence, one of my friends from all these guys are from our club, and so he calls back, and so I'm just doing this to let's go KB. I don't know, but see where we're at. If you look down here, if you go to QSO map, it will show you, zoom in, that I'm here, the green, and they're wherever they're going to be. The other thing is, let's get back to here. You want to make sure the green checks are lit up. And let's say I hit Europe and there's nothing there. Oh, I always forget this. When you set up hammers, you got to go in here and pick one of these databases, and you got to get a username, password. I use QRZ. I also use these other two, so I'm kind of covered. So when you click, that's why their information populated in the logger, because it's searching one of these three. And so when you set that up, you go to settings and figure out which one you're going to use. I forget about that because once you get it set up, you don't really go back to it. But your profile, manager, help, those are up there. You can kind of set all this up once you get going. So you hit Europe and there's no check. The other thing is, you might not have cell service. 90% of the places do. But if you don't, you're going to have to go back in and hit this. When you get home and where you get service, you hit lookup. And it only does it one at a time. So you go through here, get the check. But then I'll open it up and go make sure that grid's in there, because their grid needs to be in there. So on another device, your phone, go to QRZ or whatever you use and find their grid, put it in there, hit OK. And so like a Europe will still have a red check. But long as their call sign and it comes up in a database, QRZ or one of the other ones, and you have the grid in there, whether it's red or not, it'll work in POTA for the uploader, and it'll work in QRZ, so you'll be good. So let's say you've got 10 or you've got 200. You're done. And you've checked your maps, and man, they're all over. You got great signal spread out, and it's everywhere, and you're done. You're ready to go home. And so we're going to come back to here, log book, and you export. And you've checked all your logs, they're correct. And that's where I'm getting at. You want to make sure all this is correct first. Hit export. And I'm on a Mac, this is how it looks. It's going to look a little different for you if you're on a PC or whatever. But I'm putting mine on the desktop. And I did this a little while ago. So I'm going to replace that. The first video I did, I used my computer and it sounded horrible. So I want to go back to Parks in the Air. And now we're going to self-upload. Go to your login and it says My Log Uploads. And it's right there. I got to find where that was. Sorry. It's right here. So you push it you drag and drop it, or you can you can either click on it and open it up and find it, but I dragged and dropped it. You want to make sure your call sign, sometimes if you didn't, that's why it's best to take your time and get all your information correct first, so that when you go to upload it and check these two boxes that they're correct, and the information, when you go to upload it, if it's not correct, you don't have, it'll say missing call sign or missing park number or incorrect. You didn't put the K dash, and or something's not right. It'll flag you right here. And then when you're ready to load it, you click upload file for validation. I'm not going to do it because I didn't activate it right now. I'm just showing you. So that's how you upload. And within 15 seconds to a minute, it'll say processed, and it'll be blue saying processing. And when it's done, it'll be processed, and boom, it'll be up. And I think within 24 hours, it'll be showing for everybody to see, but it'll be in your log here in Parks in the Air. That's pretty much it for, again, make sure you figure out what to take. I'm going to close this out. Stop sharing. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have your battery, your antenna, your radio. The first time I went out to activate by myself, me and my wife went to Battleground, and I forgot we were almost to Battleground, and I forgot either my battery or my antenna, my whip. And I think it was the Wolf River coil. I'd left the whip out of the bag. And so I came back to the house. I think we ran back and forth twice, and then got out there late, got set up. I was trying to figure out how to get my SWR right. Got it right. That took a little while. All this is learning curves, which is good. And I got set up calling CQ, Parks in the Air at Kilo, whatever the park number was at Battleground. I called out 3 times, and I was ready to write somebody down. The park ranger pulled up and said, "Park closes in 3 minutes." So I was about to get angry, and I was like, I learned a lot. I learned how to do the SWR. I learned to find out what time the park closes. And so it was a failed activation, but it wasn't failed because I learned some stuff. And just make sure you have your gear. Make sure you have some food, water. If you're going to be out a long time, sunscreen, mosquito spray in Texas. Have your stuff. Go out. Activate. It's good for you. You'll learn. You'll make mistakes. You'll learn some stuff. If you have any questions on QRZ, my email's there, or you get a hold of me. You can call me. We'll talk. But get out, activate. Figure out how to get set up and get portable, get mobile, and get on the air. God bless 73. This is Philip, KI5 OLV.